Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present here on behalf of the Maharaj Kumari Vinodini Devi Foundation for the observance of M.K. Vinodini Centenary at the Listener Festival of Orality presented by the Imasi Foundation. The chairman of the festival is Ratan Thiyam. He's a legend of India. And on behalf of the chairman and Imasi Foundation, I welcome you all to the Listener Festival of Orality. May I request Padma Shri Santila Yanger from Nagaland on the stage to receive a token of appreciation to be presented by the representatives of the Imasi Foundation and also to share a few words and introduce a special guest, Guru Sangyusang Pomyoner from Makokchung. Please welcome Padma Shri Santila Yanger.
O people who have gathered here from different places, near and far, to the learned, the humble and mighty, rich and poor, be calm and listen. For the invocation that I hereby declare, abiding to the tradition passed down from our ancient forefathers and ancestors, bear witness to the customary spearing in this sacred oath-taking and truthful communication. To the God of the heaven and earth in the spoken word. Today, in this beautiful city of Imphal, I, Guru Sangyusang Pomanan, Gaungura, is honored to inaugurate the Listener Festival of Orality 2023. I thankfully invoke God's blessings on this festival that begins today, the 6th of February, culminating on 9th February, to ensue without any disturbances, obstacles, or untoward situations. May all the blessings and happiness be upon the people throughout the festival, for I am delighted to celebrate this premier festival of festivals with you. It is indeed an opportunity in this festival of orality to learn our valued heritage, folk songs, dances, and stories that has brought people together from different places to make our society a progressive one. I therefore pray that this festival finds continuity to be the source of peace and prosperity for the people of this beautiful land. Let Almighty God grant a successful outcome on the Listener Festival of Orality, and to all who are present here, take back valuable lessons so that it spreads forth and instills continuity. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in applause to welcome 80-year-old Guru Sangyusang Pungana from Ungma village, Mokokchung district of Nagaland, the festival father to open the Listener, pronounced with a traditional invocation.
Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year to you all. I'm very glad getting this opportunity as a traditional blessing bird on this auspicious occasion.
Thank you so much, Guru. May I please request Padma Shri Sentila Yangair once again on the stage, and also Guru Sangyu Sang Pongyaner on the stage to receive a small token of appreciation from the Imasi Foundation. Padma Shri Sentila Yangair from Nagaland and Guru Sangyu Sang Pongyaner to be presented a small token of appreciation from the Imasi Foundation. Thank you. Um, May I now invite Ratan Thiyam, a legend with many accolades under his name, who is also the chairman of the Listener Festival of Orality, to give the keynote address.
Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Nauren Lokendra Singh, Guest of Honor, Ezekiel Dlamini, and Professor Umarani Papuswamy. Respected literature, esteemed members of art fraternity, cultural connoisseurs, and dear colleagues. Welcome to the Festival of Orality. The listener, I'm delighted and feel very, very happy today as the festival is taking place here, the Festival of Oral Tradition of India. India carries quite a lot of oral traditions in each and every state, from Karnataka to Kerala, from Tamil Nadu to Orissa, Andhra, Gujarat, and the oral tradition of Mahabharata from Rajasthan, and from UP, and so on, from Bihar. And also, the most interesting thing is that in the Northeast, we have so many tribes and incalculable oral traditions which came down in the last thousands of years from our ancestors. Oral tradition becomes more important when we talk about our own identity, because it always carries a kind of nuances everywhere. The aesthetics of our generation, the elder generation, the ancestors. In that case, happening of the Listener Festival, the first festival of oral tradition, is taking place in Manipur, where our culture flourished under the canopy of various ethnic colors with heterogeneity and multiplicity. Our style of expression in this oral tradition, our style of expression is nowhere to compare with the Western culture. The West also, they have many of it. In the Occidental attitude of oral tradition, we could see many things. But is in India, and particularly in the northeast side, our style of expression is very indigenous. Establishment of connectivity with our ancestors, different types of rituals and fertility rites, Mother Earth, water, fire, sun, sky, moon, forest, and creatures are main resources of our oral tradition and other performing art forms. It also encompasses our daily practice ranging from harvesting, reaping, and sowing to the protection of our own community and contribution towards the development of our own society. In India, our yearning to express through movement, color, shape, architecture, music, dance, theater, and various other performing art forms. All this way goes back to the earliest spirit of our civilization. And that's why oral tradition brings down, as you know, it's like coming down from a waterfall and the water is running and running, running. And the tradition is there. The water carries a tradition. The water carries our culture. So it has been always like that. Manipur is situated in the northeast of the, adjoining to the border of Myanmar, and is perhaps one of the richest states in terms of cultural traditions and indigenous art form. Even in the age of the so-called civilization and modernity, our lifestyle, our own lifestyle has never been separated from the tradition, and one can easily witness the balancing act without much effort. Until today, we could witness the art of penna, if we are talking about the oral tradition, Kongjom Parba, Wari Liba, Larik Haibativa, etc., etc. And the ballad singing of Manipur called Kongjom Parba is one of the finest and very, very polished kind of oral tradition, which draws from both the Vaisnavite as well as from the folk traditions of Manipur. And the two very, very well-known gurus like Wangu Kongnang and Thanga Manguljao, they left a very beautiful tradition. In Manipur, the most interesting thing is that when a child is born, the first lesson that he or she is being taught and taught to the new human being by the mother is ta ding ding, ta ding ding. It's nothing more than that, ta ding ding. Because that's how the child gradually opens up his delicate fingers, tiny fingers, and starts doing gestures following the tune of ta ding ding, ta ding ding. And everybody says, oh God, he's dancing, he is dancing. And joy and laughter fill up the air. I think that is how the expression of human being, his emergence and acclimatization to a new space is established. Art and culture is introduced in many communities in their own ways in this part of the country. And we are born and brought up with 1,000 types of lullaby in 1,000 different languages in various regions. It's very interesting to note that if anybody is talking about Bhima of Mahabharata, if he belongs to Karnataka, the master of oral tradition will always talk about how much of idli, how much of dosa, how much of chutney he will consume. But when the wari leader in Manipur talks about Bhima, he will always talk about a lot of iromba and the Manipuri recipes to be taken by the Bhima. So the range is quite interesting. The oral tradition encompasses riddles, tales, proverbs, nursery rhymes, legend, myths, and chantings. And that's how the Vedic chanting comes here. The tradition of Vedic chanting, which is thousands of years old, is also known to be one of the finest oral tradition in India. But time marches on, and suddenly there is a change in our culture and its ethos. Now we live in a worldwide, with a new cultural heritage. We live in a very different kind of space now. 21st century is an era of globalization, worldwide mobility, communication and information. The technological fanfare has made us more intoxicating, and the world is increasingly surrendering into it. It has succumbed in influencing our lifestyle and penetrated all spheres of human endeavor. There is no doubt that these new discoveries and innovation has improved our life, and nobody will deny it. In many ways, and should be congratulated for this. But on the other side, technology has cultivated a kind of isolation, individualization in human mind, and planted a very different kind of thinking process, which was not there even a few decades ago. The distinction between the new comfort and comfort-oriented energy and original human energy has created new dilemma about human cultural evaluation and evolution, and the place of our own body and mind in this so-called civilization with an entirely new cultural landscape. Our dependence upon non-animal energy is increasing day by day. He is always happy to utilize the service of modern catering to escape, digest, and get rid of despair. So the cultural tradition becomes an inevitable part of refined understanding of philosophy when we do this type of festival. And we are very, very happy that we could introduce the Imasi Foundation, the Maharaj Kumari Binodini Foundation could really introduce this type of festival. And there are many other things also which we will, I think, we hope will be able to introduce to the audience, where they will find a solace, a little bit of peace in this highly technological age. In this difficult juncture, our aim is to how we could protect or preserve our cultural traditions, including that of oral tradition. We all know the happening around us, and it is that there is a continued effort of society to implant and plant the seeds of corruption. This is where the need arises, and to change the system, otherwise we'll be nowhere. In this changing world and challenging journey of protection and preservation, because in art, what happens is really a guru when he dies, and you know that, we all know that the budget of culture from the ministry itself, from the center ministry itself, is very low. It's almost nil, almost zero. But when a guru dies, it accompanies the whole tradition. So we should be looking after, there should be many other, ways of finding out to preserve our culture in the future. My short view and presentation is a response to my existence in everyday life, which contains my tradition, inspiration from myths and legend, and even the tastiest Manipuri cuisine or recipes that I eat daily. I try to make it at a point to depict our identity and to bring awareness and consciousness of all the factors and elements which determines the future of a race in the age of globalization. I feel really very, very lucky that I could see Maharaj Kumari Binodini. I could talk to her and I could discuss with her many of the things. The one thing I know about her is that she was inspired by quite a lot of things around Manipur, around Bengal, or elsewhere else, everywhere else. But the oral tradition of Manipur also inspired her quite a lot. The archaic language of Manipur, the sweetest one, I tell you, the sweetest one, the archaic language of Manipur, and the kind of tunes that set by the penna players, and their lyrics, their song, their music inspired a lot to M.K. Binodini Devi. And I am very proud that I'm associated with Imasi Foundation. And I hope that people in future will be able to understand the aesthetics of Maharaj Kumari Binodini Devi through many ways, through films, through books, through painting, through sculpture, and so on. Well, thank you all for listening, me providing an opportunity to share my thoughts and humble experience. Please enjoy the festival. It's lovely to be with you, my friends. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts and opinions. May I please invite the representatives of Imasi Foundation to please bring the gift. Sir, can you please come up on the stage once more? Sir, we need to, can you please come up on the stage once more? Give them to the Give them to
I want to be there.
Today is the birthday of Imashi Binodini, so we would like to pay our respects by lighting up a candle and also by offering flowers up on the stage. So if anyone wants to offer flowers, you may please feel free to come up on the stage and offer the flowers. Candle amtang chungkhatpiyo. May I request the chief guest, Sir Loken, to please start with the offering of the flowers. The guests may follow. I would also like to request everyone to please keep their phones on silent or on airplane mode or switch it off till the remainder of the function. May I now invite Shamurai Latpam Nabachandra Sharma, President of Ruprag, who is popularly known as Naba Volcano, to please come on the stage and say a few words, and also to introduce the artist who will be performing today, the artist of Ruprag. But before we go ahead, may I please request the representatives of Imasi Foundation to please give Kaka Naba Volcano a small token of appreciation.
Good afternoon. Kurumjari. Mayam Butaram Okjari. Imasi Gi Foundation Gi Maiki Digi. Today especially I want to mention the word watch, watch. Imasi watch. I would like to mention today Imasi is always with me, with us. forever. She is our great Imasi, Ima, Mummy, and a great mentor too. She is a great lyricist. She is everything for us. She taught us many things: music, literature, theater, and the body language, choreography on the stage, how to talk, how to handle the audience, how to dress. She is something special for us. So, she is our Robrak founder. She has given us houses, the place where we did rehearsal. With these, everything, we enjoyed with Imasi and our team Robrak. Then she composed many things, many songs for us. Patriotic song, romantic song, logical songs, everything. But today we are giving some numbers written by Imasi, composed by Imasi, and music composed by Robrak. Her Robrak. I'm going to introduce my artist of today. He is Gurumem Brojen Sharma. This is a male singer of today, of Robrak. She is Wangkem Vidyamani, playback singer who stood first position in the competition of talents of Ame. And she is Tongam Loising Kombi. This is also champion in the music competition, modern music, Matam Isai. She is Mayengbam Bidyarani. Last year only, she stood first position for the Manipuri modern song competition. Then musician is our legend. They became legend. Surchandrasan, please stand up, please. Surchandrasan, my music composer and keyboard player. Big hand for them also, please. Sir. He is guitarist and composer, music director, Git Oinam, and percussion leader, Mr. Hamon Purnananda, and drum trio Hiding Mayom, Mr. Atokpam Bokhan on bass guitar, and Mr. Where is our great singer, Sadananda also here. Please give the Sadananda, please, on the stage, please. Welcome. He is star and a singer of Manipur. Very, very great singer. We are giving some numbers from the Robrak family. Thank you very much. Welcome again. Thank you very much. First of all, Miss Bidamani will sing one of the ancient 1960s number. Imasi composed, and it was composed music Shyam Sharma and my friend Kun Joy Kumar in the team, and Ahibam Buddhachandra, our great teacher, and Ahibam Shyam, and my friend W. Sampson. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ano Vujuki Kau Kravahing Karambujuki. It is a great song. Please listen.
Hello, check. Hello. Thakatjari lengsin biriba khwai punapu ikup unu khurumjari. Sakkadoriba isai asida soikiba lankiba orpasu tinbiriba oja guru pumnamakna ngakpigani haina aigi side. Nisingjari. Hello.
Kapli bara ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯍꯟꯕꯅꯣ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯆꯥꯛꯍꯟꯕꯅꯣ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯍꯟꯕꯅꯣ ꯀꯔꯝꯕ ꯖꯨꯒꯤ ꯀꯥꯎꯈ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯑꯍꯤꯡꯗ ꯃꯪꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯪꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯅꯣ ꯑꯣꯠꯂꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯕꯨ ꯇꯠꯇꯅ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯑꯣꯠꯂꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯕꯨ ꯇꯠꯇꯅ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯐꯝ ꯈꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯤ ꯀꯔꯝꯕ ꯖꯨꯒꯤ ꯀꯥꯎꯈ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯑꯍꯤꯡꯗ ꯃꯪꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯪꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯅꯣ ꯃꯪꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯪꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯅꯣ ꯃꯪꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯪꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯅꯣ ꯊꯥꯒꯠꯆꯔꯤ
Thank you, Ruprak, and thank you, Vidyamani. May I now invite L.Somi Roy, Director of the Listener Festival of Orality, to give a few remarks.
Thank you, Ruprag. Good evening. Thank you all for coming today in the middle of a work week, actually the start of a work week. It's a very special day today because it is M.K. Binodini Devi's birthday, and it is a program that celebrates her centenary. So it is doubly important. And the song that you heard, Karamba Jukki, was chosen by Ruprag because it is about fading memories. I mean, the rough translation would go like, what shadow from a forgotten dream in some age gone by comes to haunt me? It is about memories that fade, about people we love, about people who are no longer with us. Sorry. Thank you. For those who do not know, M.K. Binodini is my mother. And for the next song, I made a special request to my friend, Number Volcano. We grew up together. He was always at our house. And it is because there were many aspects of Binodini. And one of them struck me quite recently, and that is when we were talking to Sangeet Nata Academy last December about bringing a dance troupe to Delhi to perform for the centenary, they wanted to bring the ballet Kaibulam Jao that she had written. So Kaibulam Jao is based on an essay that was written about 12 years before that, in 1973. And with the essay called Thoibidu Warohawi, which is now taught in the 9th standard in all Manipur schools, Binodini ignited environmental awareness and the need to preserve wildlife. So today when we see Shanghai Travel Agency, Shanghai Hotel, Shanghai newspapers, it is an idea planted by an essay, reinterpreted by dance, and then filmed by Aribam Sam Sharma called The Dancing Deer, which won the British Film Institute's Outstanding Film of the World Award in 1991. So, she was an environmentalist. She loved animals, she loved flowers. She also wrote a film called Orchids of Manipur for Arabiam Shyam Sharma. We hope to show it one day. And so there was a song that was very popular back in the 70s, and I have not heard it in a long time, and I cannot find it on YouTube. So I asked Naba to see if we can sing it, and it's called Sangbanabi, A Shade of Green. It's a song about nature and how we have demeaned and mistreated, it is implied, not stated, nature. And in the song, the singer asks, Sangbanabi, lift your face up. Let us go. Travel along the river, take a walk by the riverside. Let us walk through the mustard green flowers of yellow. Lift up your face and look at me. In hindsight, it struck me that it's a film about climate change, how we've mistreated nature. And Tamu Ratan was talking about our shared love of our communities, especially in the northeast of India, of mountains and rivers and stars. We are animus in origin, all of us. So I felt that this song has a special resonance for me now that we are all concerned about climate change and global warming. But not everything is dramatic and soulful and sorrowful. She also had a very playful side. And the second song that will follow, Sangbanabi, A Shade of Green, which is going to be sung by Naba himself, for which he was famous, and is still famous. It's called The Baby Elephant. So with these two songs on the environment and animals, her love of animals, we give you Ruprag with Binodini songs.
Hello. Sangbanabi, aigi Sangbanabi. Hairiba Imasi ni iramba isaysi. Aigi guru, aigi oja, aigi dada, ahibam Shyamna Imasi na magitam tasembiramba isaydi. Ahibam Shyam gidamak taso ahuba kubam tang mayabigi nijagi. Sangsar sida laikidre, chatkre hui thadok piramaga, adubu ngasidi, mahak nang yamluna thamjaramba, mahaki satra, Guru Oribam, Brojen Sarmana, Sangbanabi Putramayam the Tahan Bigini. Guru Oribam Brojen Sarma.
아이기
상반너리 군모 왕왕오 군모 왕왕오바 아이논다 일락로 마이 하이글로 제 아이논다 예고 마이 하이글로 제미 아이논다 예고 장반너비 아이기 장반너비 헛걸로 자치 춤춤 ngào quay ru si 헛걸로 자치 춤춤 ngào quay ru si 남분 또 반다 자치 남불 공반다 고이루시 마이 하이글로 세 아이몬다 예고 마이 하이글로 세미 아이몬다 예고 상반나비 아이기 상반나비 제 밤라시 했다 밤시 제 밤라시 했다 밤시 인치꾸락 나 바이바 한감나 마판사바 밤라시 했다 밤시 인치꾸락 나 바이바 한감나 마판사바 lạc ngào min nơ ra si hekta lục min nơ kha si lạc ngào min nơ ra si hekta lục min nơ kha si nang ai nang ho nang ai nang mai hai cơ lô chế ai ngon ta yên lợt lô sang bang nabi ai gi sang bang nabi kumo wangango 왕왕오바 아이몬다 옛날로 마이 하이글로 ꯑꯩꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯨ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯒꯠꯂꯣ ꯁꯦꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯩꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯨ ꯁꯪꯕꯥꯟꯅꯕꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯁꯪꯕꯥꯟꯅꯕꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯁꯪꯕꯥꯟꯅꯕꯤ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯁꯪꯕꯥꯟꯅꯕꯤ. Thank you.
Our next guest for today's festival is Hezekiel Delamini, Officer in Charge of UNESCO for South Asia. UNESCO is a collaborating partner of the Listener Festival of Orality. Imasi Foundation and UNESCO have collaborated since 2019, and the Listener Festival pre-launch was hosted by UNESCO New Delhi last year. May I invite Hezekiel Delamini to please come on stage and share a few words. But before that, can I please invite the representatives of Imasi Foundation to please give a token of appreciation.
Our chief guest, Professor Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor of the Manipur University, distinguished and respected guests here present, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to join you today at the opening of the 2023 Listener Festival. UNESCO New Delhi office was honored to host the curtain raiser for this event last December in New Delhi at the UNESCO House. And our association with the Listener Festival is a recognition of the very important role that this festival plays in promoting indigenous languages that are unique to the Northeast. In the same month of December, UNESCO launched the International Decade of Indigenous Languages, which dates from 2022 to 2032. The global plan of action for this decade is a response to the pressing need to preserve indigenous languages before they go extinct, in order to revitalize unique cultural and linguistic traditions which underpin our diversity and our identities, as well as shared memories. Linguistic diversity and multilingualism are crucial for human development, social justice, and good governance in our region, which composes of multi-ethnic societies. UNESCO's first responsibility is to shine the spotlight on these languages, to bring the world's attention to their existence and to the role they play in our development. In preparation for the launch last December, UNESCO New Delhi and sister offices in the Asia Pacific region held a consultation which produced a number of strategic objectives for the region. In summary, they highlighted the need to foster inclusive and equitable educational opportunities and learning environments in order to promote, protect, and revitalize indigenous languages. This was number one. Number two, digital environment or digital empowerment, rather, of indigenous communities need to be prioritized for improving access to new technologies and language learning tools. These are, of course, in line with the global goals for the decade. And these are the goals that we're trying to pursue in our collaboration with Imasi Foundation, Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts, the University of North Texas, represented here, or in our collaboration led by Professor Shobana, who is present among us today. And this started in 2020, just before the onset of COVID, with training or skills building on digital archiving or digital preservation of indigenous languages. Since then, additional training workshops and events have been provided by these and other partners in order to equip those in our communities and those in our institutions who need to drive this movement. In 2022, UNESCO New Delhi, in collaboration with the Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts, produced a report on tribal and indigenous languages of India. And in that report identified over 1,500 languages that need to be preserved in the country. Yes, we realize this report is not seen by all as comprehensive. It's still work in progress. And we welcome efforts to have an additional, the next edition of the report that will perhaps reflect more realistically the situation on the ground. But it was a start, because we do need to know which of these languages that we have in the country and in the region can be categorized as indigenous, and what standards are we using to identify them. The implication of this exercise can be easily understood in our attempt to engage big tech, such as Lenovo and Motorola Foundation, and others, in making digital technologies more accessible to speakers of indigenous languages. They, when I say they, I mean big tech wants to know what languages are truly indigenous and how many speakers speak those languages and how well documented are those languages, and also how well coded are they. Big tech is interested in opening up the digital space for all of us to interact in our own native languages. But they need us to tell them what we speak. And they need us to help them develop the input devices that we need to interact. Yes, we do have oral to text translation and vice versa. But we know that documentation of languages serves different purposes in different institutions. Researchers primarily still use keyboards to document their work or to do research in their fields. So we do need keyboards in indigenous languages, in addition to the language translators already developed. This work must continue for our children to truly partake in the education of the future and be empowered to enjoy the opportunities that come with the digital revolution. Having said that, I just want to highlight two areas that still remain unattended to, including in our great country of India. One of them is the legal recognition of all indigenous languages. And having the support needed provided to those languages to develop the requisite and appropriate learning materials needed to advance their existence and even develop them further. One of the difficulties that indigenous languages face is developing vocabulary that defines the new tools and environments that now we work with. That terminology does need institutionalized support. We also need academic research on indigenous languages as a second concern, to foster literary climates in these vernaculars for their speakers as a way to safeguard and transmit those languages to future generations. So, in short, much still needs to be done. UNESCO's request is that we join forces as partners, because UNESCO doesn't actually do much by itself. It's a mobilizer, it's an advocate. Yes, we do lobby, we do negotiate with authorities, but even there, we need the support of stakeholders. It is my request, therefore, that we work together with institutions from this region and beyond to make sure that truly every speaker of a native or an indigenous language benefits equally in their interaction with the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Before we move on to our next guest of honor, I would like to request the very famous Naba Volcano to please sing the song Samu Machaama along with his band Rubrak.
Hello, hello. Ngakpigani? Ngaktan kui no pamubagi. Hogot pala nungaitaba hong sajing hobagi. Imasi gi isay singi maragtay na kwari pamjaba isay makhalaga. Aina professional singer oidringaida before professional singer I. We used to sing our Guruji's songs, master song, sung by Guru, Adi Guru, Shyam Sharma, a renowned filmmaker, music director, actor. She is still with us. He was a president of Robrak. Instead of him, I'm working as a president of Robrak. This is Samu Machaama, Leina Leina Jagosai, is written by my Imasi. It is a song of kids She wrote many things, for environment and logical things, patriotic song. I told you before. This is a hit song. Now I stood this song first position in the music competition in the year 1968-69, singing this song. In all schools, continuously 2 years, 3 years, I used to sing this in all competition. I got the gold medal for Imasi. Shamu macha ama leina jagoi sai. Nom jagoi sai. Shamu macha ama leina jagoi sai. Nom jagoi sai. Mama mapa leite mapin pok na yok chay. Mama mapa leite mapin pok na yok chay. Shamu macha ama leina jagoi sai. Nom jagoi sai. Nom jagoi sai. Bên bốc na nốc chay, bên na yeng chay. Mà bên bốc na nốc chay, bên na yeng chay. Jagoi saro hai chay, lapoi charo in chay. Jagoi saro hai chay, lapoi charo in chay. Ngay hát lepi. Ngay hak ngak na lepi, lep na tumi, mikap to ingay ha, abo kaday dano, koy na thiri, jag macha ama layna jagoy say, nom jagoy say, nom jagoy say. Mapin pok na khali kumhayam hatoge isui mapong numita kumhayam hatoge Mapin pok na khali isui mapok numita kumhayam hatoge Ipu sawong hanu bayay raklepunglon Ipu sawong hanu ba kairat lepung lon tang tintang tan tare kutum na tum Tohar cholom taurakle oja tuhar usaina Tohar cholom taurakle oja tuhar usaina Samu macha ato leina jagoi sai Nom jagoi sai Nom jagoi sai Koro numita Shamu macha mankare Nobody Koro numita Shamu macha mankare Mabin pokna Kakjay Koi thi thiri mabu Mabin pokna hangjay ha ta de shaw isu uhobara ha utum tan thaba isu uhobara Mabin pokna hangjay ha ta de shaw isu uhobara ha utum tan thaba isu uhobara uhode uhode tamakai uhode uhode tamakai kang hode tamakai ha shamu macha ting tharak le maya ha shamu macha ting tharak le maya halakho 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 shamu macai jago abuk hana uraro no just no just
Thank you, sir. Very beautiful. Our next guest of honor is Professor Umarani Papuswamy, Deputy Director of Central Institute of Indian Languages in Mysore, and a longtime friend of Imasi Foundation. CIIL is the academic partner of the Listener Festival of Orality. May I please request Professor to please come on stage and say a few words, and also to give the gift.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. Thank you very much, the organizers, for this lovely gift, something very special for me. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University. Shri Ratan Thiyam, Chairman of the Listener Festival. Shri L.Somi Roy, the Festival Director and founder of Imasi Foundation. Shri Hezekiel Dlamini, Director in charge, UNESCO New Delhi. Distinguished guests from India, Professor Shobna Chalaya, Professor David Peterson, and many other dear colleagues from different parts of the world. My dear colleague Alindra Brahma from CIL, my dear participants, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to all of you. Vanakkam, that's in my language, Tamil. I'm very happy to pronounce that once again to you, Vanakkam. It's indeed both an honor and privilege to be a guest of honor and be with you all at the Listener Festival of Orality, Literature, and Culture that just began with the blessings of Guruji. We are going to celebrate this for the next 3 days in Imphal, the beautiful city of Manipur. As most of you know very well, India is a linguistic paradise, a treasure trove of languages and cultures. It's one of the very few nations that is widely acknowledged for its linguistic and cultural diversity. Northeast India is very unique in many ways, with hidden treasures that are yet to be discovered by the rest of the globe. From that perspective, I believe it is our duty to showcase the rich heritage of Northeast India in all possible ways. The listener is one of a kind of festival of the Northeast region, which brings together the unheard voices of Northeast India through a blend of performances like we witnessed since this afternoon. Thank you so much for the lovely performance, all of you. It's a blend of performances of art and also academics. As rightly pointed out by Somi, my dear friend and founder of Imasi, it is going to be the first festival which brings people from different wavelengths, if I may say so. People working on non-text, pre-text, and the text together on Northeast India. This is already laid out in the beautiful invitation card prepared by Imasi, and which is already circulated in the social media for wider publicity. This event is not only a wonderful tribute to the legendary Manipuri writer, the Maharaj Kumari Binodini Devi, as we celebrate her birth centenary, but also to begin the journey towards taking the oral heritage of Northeast India to the rest of the world through digital archiving and other contemporary means of promoting indigenous languages, heritage, and other aspects of culture. My salutes to the late Maharaj Kumari Binodini Devi on this important occasion. Her legacy is something that is beyond appreciation with a few words. A prolific writer who bridged two worlds of ancient royalty and modern art. A noble mother who worked for the upliftment of a society for several decades. This was expressed by many of those who spoke before me about her. No doubt her legacy is being promoted by Imasi Foundation, which I believe is doing a tremendous job. Thanks to Somi Roy, her son and founder of Imasi, for this monumental work. What more can a mother deserve? Mothers are living gods for every human being. I would like to quote something from Tamil here. Except Shobna, I don't think others can understand it. Nevertheless, let me quote that and translate it for others. தாயிற் சிறந்த கோவிலும் இல்லை, தந்தை சொல் மிக்க மந்திரம் இல்லை. I repeat, தாயிற் சிறந்த கோவிலும் இல்லை, தந்தை சொல் மிக்க மந்திரம் இல்லை. Let me translate it for you. There is no other temple as great as Mother. And there is no other sutras or slokas or words of religious wisdom as good as a father. But here we are celebrating Mother. Of course, Mother is everything to all of us. I'm also a bit emotional to say this, especially someone like me who just lost her mother a few months ago. And just a few months, and I can understand the emotions of everyone who goes through that. My mother, like for every one of you, is the guiding spirit, right, in all our endeavors. In fact, this is the first live academic event I attend after her passing away. Since I literally promised Somirai that I will join hands in this wonderful mission of taking the heritage of Northeast India outside Northeast. I lived in Shillong for 8 years and I am emotionally connected with the Northeast people. And the second place which frequently embraces me is Manipur, compared to all other parts, of course. So I'm always happy to be in Manipur. here we are standing, and of course, standing, I'm not saying in the literal sense, in the figurative way. Here we are in a mission to celebrate our mother and mother languages and heritages of our motherland, India. So it's each and everyone's responsibility to contribute in every possible way to take this forward. This is the first festival which begins in Manipur. And like Hezekiel was saying, this dialogue was going on for several years. I got into this picture only during the pandemic. When Somi Roy contacted me and discussed about this, I thought, why not? Let's try it. And then after a few dialogues and my meeting with him just before my mother was hospitalized, I told him, okay, let's see whether CIL can collaborate officially. And we thought like Center for Northeast Language Development housed in CIL can be part of it, because this is the right time for CIL to turn its attention to other aspects of languages and cultures. Now I take this opportunity to say a few words about my institute, because I see a lot of people here who may or may not know what is Central Institute of Indian Languages. The Central Institute of Indian Languages, popularly known as CIIL, was established in Mysore on July 17 in 1969. I think that was the time you sang your beautiful song and got a gold medal. So, so that's nice. So that was the year, many years ago, 53 plus years now. The Institute has been advising the Government of India on language-related matters and acting as the apex body for languages in this beautiful country. The main objective of CIL is to coordinate the development of Indian languages, scheduled and non-scheduled. In other words, big languages, small languages, every language, by creating content and corpus, conducting interdisciplinary research. Like that's the reason like we thought let's get connected with people working on orality. Also, we do a lot of work on language analysis, language pedagogy, language technology, and language use in society. And we contribute to the development of major languages, minor languages, tribal languages, and whatever label you give of languages of India, classical languages, non-classical. Basically, we like to work on any aspect related to language. It's one of the first institutions back then in 1970s which started working on tribal and border languages of our country. CIL used to have a field station, like railway stations and radio stations. CIL was the first to have field stations based in Northeast India. And that's how like many grammars and dictionaries were brought out in the era when computers were not even in practice in India, 1970s. We have contributed to documenting some of the languages of Northeast India for almost 5 decades. The Institute plays an active role with central and state governments and also has its association with UNESCO from many angles. Our former director, Professor Ratan Thiyam, contributed to the UNESCO Atlas of World Languages in Danger that was brought out in 2010. And many other directors and deputy directors were part of the UNESCO's mission in several ways. I'm not going to elaborate more, but I would like to mention here that we have 7 centers which are called as regional language centers. One of them is situated in Guwahati, that is called as Northeast Regional Language Center, which is now headed by Sri Alindra Brahma, who is with us here. The goal is to teach languages of Northeast. In this case, we have only 4 languages now, the scheduled languages, to anyone who is interested in learning the Northeast languages. I believe like in future, we may extend our services to include teaching of the indigenous languages that are not scheduled. So that would benefit. Manipuri is being taught in Guwahati, of course, Manipuri, Santali, Bodo, and we have Nepali, 4 languages. Yeah, Bodo I already said. Yeah? Oh, sorry, Santali is in ERLC. So we have Bodo, Nepali, Manipuri, and Assamese being, of course, in Assam. So we have 4 languages, but the goal is to teach more. Of course, we also do quite a lot of things. I'm not going to elaborate on this for lack of time. I'm skipping those things. We also deal with classical languages. And we are also, CIL is also a member of the UNESCO Chair on Language Policies for Multilingualism. That's my connection with UNESCO. And we have been part of this since 2019 onwards. So that's working on different aspects of multilingualism. For more than 5 decades, we have been associated with several things. Now, the CIL, through its Center for Northeast Language Development, popularly called as NELD, is happy to extend its support in organizing the Listener Festival, both academically and through my institute financially. To some extent, of course, it's a huge festival. I really admire L.Somi for thinking of such a beautiful thing by bringing people from 4 states this time. This is the beginning. So we believe maybe next year also it will be conducted probably in Manipur itself till it gains its momentum to be and ready to be taken to other parts of Northeast India. But I believe Imasi Foundation will bring people from other parts of Northeast India here, and maybe with the same group, or maybe we will have many more collaborators in different forms to make this mission possible, something which is important and the need of the hour. As an active member of the UNESCO Chair on Language Policies for Multilingualism, and as one of the deputy directors of the CIL, I am pleased to see this program as an excellent beginning of promoting and preserving the languages and cultures of Northeast India in the International Decade of Indigenous Languages 2022 to 2032, observed by the UNESCO, and which was already outlined by my dear colleague Ezekiel. The mission in front of us, put forward by UNESCO, is to create awareness of the indigenous languages and cultures and take measures to promote them. That's the reason we are interested in having collaborations with people like Shobhana Chelaya, who is one of the pioneers in digital archiving, because it's important to take these languages to the outside world. Visibility in cyberspace. This is very, very important for others to know about our language. Language is who we are. I was very happy that there are many of us sitting here who speak different tongues. The more the merrier, isn't it? But we enjoyed the musical treat delivered by great people sitting here. I believe these voices now, through these digital recordings, will reach a global audience. That's what we want. That's why we are having this festival. And also, as a linguist, I would like to add here, if we don't do such activities like this, by the end of 21st century, we will be in a situation where we are going to not celebrate, but mourn for the death of several languages. Many languages are going to die. As of now, we have 7,000 plus living languages. If we don't take measures to preserve them and promote them like the kind we are doing now, we will end up by having only 700 or even less than that, which is not a desirable thing. Many languages are dying. This will have a direct impact on intangible cultural heritage. Language loss will lead to loss of indigenous wisdom and knowledge. Some of you sitting here might think, when a language dies, what is lost? Human experience is lost. Cultural heritage is lost. Unique and irrecoverable knowledge on their various medicinal practices, religious beliefs, healing, flora and fauna, and many more indigenous knowledge will be lost. Therefore, there is a need to preserve, protect, and promote languages, cultural heritages, and other aspects of culture. There are many indigenous communities in Northeast India that have not lost their members, but unfortunately lost or losing their language and culture in several aspects. The surviving members of the community have an opportunity to revive the language. This particular phenomenon, as you all know, is not possible for a biological extinct species like dodo or dinosaur. So we can help preserve languages that are dying or getting extinct. I would like to highlight some of the plans CIL has during this festival. So CIL would like to call its academic association with the Listener Festival in the name Oral Literatures, Multilingualism and Interculturalism. We are hosting and organizing some of the academic events in the Listener. For lack of time, I won't go into the details of it, but at least I would like to mention a few. There will be 2 panels, both are international in every true sense of the word. One of them is crafting digital resources for promotion of indigenous languages, slated to be held tomorrow. This will include members from NEL, CIL, UNT Indiana University, then we have UNESCO Delhi, we have other members from United States and other parts, UNESCO Chair on Language Policies for Multilingualism housed in Brazil, interlocutors from Manipur, Meghalaya, Sikkim, and of course, Imasi Foundation. We also have scheduled 2 important plenary talks, one by Gilvan Mueller de Oliveira and another by David Peterson from Dartmouth College. Both will talk on oral literatures from different perspectives. That's going to be a wonderful academic treat to many of us, along with the visual treat what is being showcased here. We will also host one more panel because it's one of the important panels where we would like to talk about developing collaborative scholarship on language and culture. This is again with UNT, Indiana University, UNESCO, Indigenous Writers Project of Perth, Australia, and Imasi Foundation. There are many more activities lined up, which you can see in the invitation card. I would like to end my speech here with a quote like, once a language is lost, humanity loses a part of our rich heritage. Therefore, it's our duty to do our best to preserve them. On this auspicious occasion, I congratulate Imasi and other collaborative partners for making this program possible. I believe you're going to have a visual treat for your eyes and mind, and let us enjoy this unique festival together. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Professor, for your wonderful insight into your institution. And we wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. And we're very pleased to have CIIL as the academic partner of this festival. Next, may I call upon the chief guest of our function, Professor Naurem Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor of Manipur University, to share a few words and also to be presented with the token of appreciation. Please welcome, sir.
So, respected
Sri Ratan Thiyam, Chairman of the Listener, a very well-known and well-established theatre personality of India and a former director of National School of Drama, New Delhi. Sri Hezekiel Dalamini, Officer in Charge for UNESCO, New Delhi. Professor Umarani Pupuswamy, Deputy Director, CIL Mysore. Sri L.Somi, the Director of the festival. My colleagues from the university. My friend Sri Nava Volcano. Friends from the media. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely delighted to be in the midst of such an audience of cultural personalities, academics, theatre personalities, and of course, social scientists too. Orality and oral traditions, as the learned Sri Ratan Thiyam had already stated, this orality and oral tradition is the living culture, living history, living way of life of a great number of ethnic and tribal communities across the country, and particularly in Northeast India, where there are no less than 150 tribes. When one goes to the library and tries to pick up any book on the Northeast Indian communities, you see that most of those books, either historical or any other theme on social sciences or humanities, the references given mostly are from the archival sources or the monographs prepared by the colonial administrators during the 19th and early part of 20th century, or from the text or materials which were left behind by the missionaries. What we see in those books about the different ethnic communities is mostly the perceptions, the ideas which was built up, which was developed, or which was ideas which was formulated by the scholars, mostly from the university-based, metropolitan university-based ideas. there are very less, in fact, very little representation of what has been depicted in many of the alive oral literature and oral traditions of all these different ethnic communities in India as well as in this part of the country. Because oral literature and oral traditions, oral laws, these have been inherited from generation to generations throughout the centuries. And these are actually some very authentic source of how all these communities have evolved over time. Social scientists and scholars cutting across discipline, they dwell extensively and heavily on other formulations based in the metropolitan universities. We do not deny the merit of those academic and the intellectual exercises. Nevertheless, it is very strongly felt that the sources, the materials which these ethnic communities have preserved, have valued, have very carefully nurtured throughout the centuries. And these oral narratives, which have been maintained in a very inviolable way. I use the word inviolable. Because in many of the rituals and traditions, the performance, even in the performance, these oral traditions are practiced, performed in an inviolable way, which meant that this cannot be misinterpreted, nor this cannot be wrongly presented. And therefore, these are very live, very authentic sources of reconstructing the past cultures, past life of different ethnic communities, not only in this part of the country, but across the Indian subcontinent. I consider this festival as a very important medium. And as the director had very beautifully stated in one of his newspaper interview, that the purpose of this festival is to take out the oral narratives, oral literature, oral traditions outside the region, so that people outside the region can understand. They can investigate, they can examine the beauty, the relevance, and the value of all these oral traditions and oral narratives. This is the way that there can be constant flow and there can be constant exchange of ideas, thoughts, and thinking, so that all of us who are in this world can grow together academically, intellectually, and in every way that the society deserves to be developed. Coming back to Imasi Binodini, I knew Imasi Binodini mostly through
her writings. Although Somi Roy happened to be my colleague in the college and the university days in Delhi, and I knew her in one or two meetings that she came to address. She was also a member of the Executive Council of Manipur University, and once she addressed the Academic Council also. And Imasi, I think I have read most of her publications in between 1968 to around 75, 80. And her writings, the language she used, the consciousness that she had about the Manipur society, the different facets of life that she tried to picturize. I was extremely impressed even when she was alive, when Somi Roy was my friend in the college in St. Stephen. Of course, we had never discussed those days about Imasi's writing. Somi Roy was, I remember him, say, reading P.G. Woodhouse. We used to read the Manipur literature. In Jawaharlal Nehru University, we used to discuss a lot on the then politics. And only a few years back, maybe 2 or 3 years back, when I met him, after about 2 decades in the university, I asked him, see, the way that Imasi had done, we need to do something. I'm so impressed and I'm so happy to see the English version of the novel, The Princess and the Political Agent, which has been published by Penguin, and much more to come, I believe. In fact, Imasi's writing as a creative writer, novels, short stories, one-act plays, plus the film scripts that she had prepared, lyrics of the numerous songs that were used to be broadcasted in AIR, in many of the cultural events that we had visited. Imasi's thinking, her perception of Manipur society, her awareness of the changing society that was taking place all around, her literary and the cultural mind actually dominated, as far as I understand, the then contemporary intellectual life of Manipur between 1970 to around 1980-85. I'm extremely proud to be a part of this very learned gathering, and with the affairs to be taken in the future with Professor Swami, who is also a learned member of the Executive Council of the University as a visitor's nominee, Swami Roy, and very, very respected Sri Ratan Thiyam. I'm very confident that the foundation will continue to carry the tradition that was nurtured, developed, and actually it had reached a fairly advanced stage of efflorescence in the very near future. And I wish all the best to Imasi Foundation and a very successful 3 days discourses and other plenary discussions on the oral narratives, oral literature, and oral traditions and other performances. With these few words, I would like to thank all of you once again for being a part of this festival. And I wish you enjoy your stay. To my friends from abroad and from India, from outside the state, have a very beautiful and very enjoyable day in Imphal. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The Imasi Foundation is very pleased to have Manipur University as one of the collaborative partner for the academic partner for this festival. We now request Ruprag to give a rendition of the song Laira Bini Hainai Imanam Gumina, which was written by M.K. Binodini Devi, and the music is composed by Aribam Shyam Sharma. This song is a classic, much loved, and one of the patriotic songs written by Imasi upon her return from the United States. It is said that she was tired and of seeing the skyscrapers and the wealth of the United States and places like New York and Washington, D.C., and she yearned to come back home. She pines for love and longs for beauty and looks for love and beauty wherever she goes. And she writes that she found it on coming back home. And this is where she felt love. This is where she felt she saw beauty. Therefore, the name of the song, Laira Bini Hainai Imanam Bhumina, loosely translates as, Mother, people say that you're weak. Let them say, Mother, whatever they want to say. Please enjoy the song.
Laira Bini
Before we conclude today's session of the Listener Festival of Orality, Rubrag will be performing the classic song Kannada Shinani Phiral Ase, which is also famously known as the June 18 song. But there's a little backstory about this song, which was narrated to me by L.Somi. It so happens that the lyrics of this song was published in a local newspaper after the deaths of the 18 people were confirmed in June 2001. And upon reading this, Imasi called Aribam Shyam Sarma and said that, there's a beautiful song on the newspaper today. Why don't you set it on music? And upon knowing this, Chongthang Kamla told Imasi that, this is a song that you wrote. Have you forgotten it? So then she said, I do not know, but it's very beautiful. Then Chongthang Kamla recalled and told her that, this is the song that you dictated, and I had to write it down on paper for you, and it was published on the newspaper, and you don't even know it. And they had a hearty laugh, and then it so happens that Aribam Shyam Sharma composed the music, and the song was published, and now it is known as the anthem of June 18. Saying this, we have a very special guest, the very well-known artist of Manipur, Hamom Sadananda, with us today on stage, and he will be singing this song accompanied by Nabha Volcano. Please enjoy.
Shinani Phiral Ase Kannada Shinani Phiral Ase Kannada Hapka Odun Ase Kalagle Hokraba Mapoki Yoina Tidakle Sangai na toina Kannada Shinani Phiral Ase Kannada Shinani Phiral Ase Mai kai marida nauraba angang nawagi konjelna nilakle mai kai marida nauraba angang nawagi konjelna lauragle nauriba makoina koi leiri kau ganu lauragle nauri makoina ai koi leiri kau ganu Kannada Shinani Phiral Ase Kannada Shinani Phiral Ase Ngamgadara thatopa punsi Ngamgadara thatopa hawai Ngamgadara pithopa punsi Kari laiduna nauraba nakoigi Chingnarui ahal oiba makoina Kari laiduna nauriba ꯆꯤꯡꯅꯔꯨꯏ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯅꯠꯇꯔ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯁꯤꯗ ꯄꯣꯛꯄ ꯅꯠꯇꯔ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗꯤ ꯁꯅꯥ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯅꯠꯇꯔ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯁꯤꯗ ꯄꯣꯛꯄ ꯅꯠꯇꯔ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗꯤ ꯁꯅꯥ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯂꯦ ꯅꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯩꯔꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯤ ꯀꯥꯎꯒꯅꯨ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯂꯦ ꯅꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯩꯔꯤ ꯀꯥꯎꯒꯅꯨ ꯀꯅꯥꯗ ꯁꯤꯟꯅꯅꯤ ꯐꯤꯔꯥꯜ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯀꯅꯥꯗ ꯁꯤꯟꯅꯅꯤ ꯐꯤꯔꯥꯜ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯀꯅꯥꯗ ꯍꯥꯞꯀꯅꯤ ꯄꯣꯠꯂꯨꯝ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯈꯜꯂꯛꯂꯦ ꯍꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯃꯄꯣꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯤꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯤꯔꯛꯂꯦ ꯃꯥꯂꯦꯝ ꯁꯪꯒꯥꯏꯗ ꯇꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯅꯥꯗ ꯁꯤꯟꯅꯅꯤ ꯐꯤꯔꯥꯜ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯀꯅꯥꯗ ꯁꯤꯟꯅꯅꯤ ꯐꯤꯔꯥꯜ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯀꯅꯥꯗ ꯁꯤꯟꯅꯅꯤ ꯐꯤꯔꯥꯜ ꯑꯁꯦ
Thank you. We are nearing the end of the session for today. This Listener Festival of Orality will continue till the 9th of February 2023. And to please give the vote of thanks, I would like to request Renuka Saraisam to please be on stage. A very good evening to everyone present here today. Respected, distinguished guest, our chief guest of today's function, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Manipur University, Naurim Lakendra Singh. On behalf of Listener Festival, Festival Chairman Ratan Thiyam, Festival Director L.Somi, the coordinating team, myself Renuka Soraisam, my colleagues R.K. Rosin and R.K. Leshimbi, and also on behalf of Imasi Foundation and a team of Imasi Foundation, Delhi, Mr. Satyajit Aribam, Atul Dev Sharma, Ajit Tiwari of Sky Events. Today joining us in thanks is our two people who are absent today, whose role was very vital and instrumental in organizing this festival. One is Mr. Sanjeev Bihari. Unfortunately, he is not able to be present with us today here. He has been admitted to the ICU due to some health issues. He was very keen and looking forward to come here today, but unfortunately, he is not with us today. But we are hoping for his speedy recovery. Another special person who we would like to thank is Professor Chirom Raj Ketan of Manipur University from Manipuri Department. His constant help and cooperation and support in organizing this festival has been a huge and tremendous help for us in coordinating with our academic partner Manipur University. Also, he cannot join us today because his mother passed away a few days ago. So we pray for we give our condolences to his family. And at this point, I would like to mention our Honorable Chief Guest, Naurim Lakendra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University. The Honorable VC has extended his constant support towards Imasi Foundation, and he agreed really happily in becoming partner, collaborator of this festival. As a result of all the supports, today we are able to organize this festival and present to you the Festival of Orality, one of its kind of festival in our country. In fact, I would say in international level, this is one of a kind of festival of orality where we are trying to explore the folk culture, the oral literature and the stories behind it. Therefore, it's the right time for me to also acknowledge another academic partner of the listener, the Central Institute of Indian Languages. It is therefore our pleasure to have with us today Professor Umarani Papuswamy, who is the Deputy Director of CIIL, joining her as our guest of honor, Mr. Hezekiel Dlamini, the Regional Head of UNESCO in South Asia, in his position of Officer in Charge of UNESCO in New Delhi. It is our immense pleasure to have you among us, Mr. Dlamini. We are not only honored to have Mr. Dlamini with us today, but we are also very grateful because UNESCO is a collaborating partner of Imasi Foundation, as we have already mentioned before, and how UNESCO helped us, and Mr. Dlamini hosted on behalf of UNESCO a commemoration of the M.K. Binodini Davis centenary function. At the function, the chief guest, Member of Parliament, Mr. Dr. Fozil Lorho of Manipur, the Listener Festival of Orality had its curtain raiser in Delhi last year in December. We have other supporters who could not be here today, like the Sangeet Natak Academy, and we just learned the Northeast Council, Shillong, is also our new supporter. As a functional, pardon me. As a festival in Northeast, about the Northeast, we thank Sentila Younger, Padma Shri, who has just presented the blessing in the beginning of this ceremony by her fellow tribesperson, Guru Sangyu Sang Pongene. Thank you for the prayer and the blessing. We really hope that this festival will commence successfully. We thank in advance the Ao Naga rock band that is called Tiamirin Aya and Six Sisters, who will be joining us tomorrow, and they are going to perform during the festival also. And Dr. Thangi Changte, who will be sharing her grandfather's songs from Mizoram with us. The listener brings together many old friends like Sentila and Thangi and their colleagues from United States who have come to join us today. Professor Shobhana Chilaya from Indiana University and Dr. David Peterson from Dartmouth College. We are pleased that they will help us in the archiving and preservation for the future generations. Mr. David Peterson and Shobhana Chilaya, they are going to give us workshops on digital archiving, IPR, and how we are going to digitally archive the intellectual property rights of our oral literature or oral culture. I think we are really, really blessed to have a session with them. And all the archiving and the documentation we are going to do in this festival will be preserved for the future generations at the Corsal at Indiana University and University of North Texas. The documentation is going to be done by our media partner Tantha. So it is, we are really glad and thankful to Tantha for their constant support. Tantha has been working with Imasi Foundation for some time now. And I would like to thank especially our chorus team, especially Tamo Thawai Thiyam and Kaibong Cha, who has supervised this whole event and who has been in constant touch with us, who has given us all our last moment demands also. So we are really thankful to Thawai Thiyam and Kaibong Cha. I would also like to thank our sound partner, KISS, and all the media and press who have agreed to cover our festival. And finally, I would really like to thank everyone present here. And yes, of course, I cannot forget our performance, Kakana Volcano, and all the artists here, and all the artists who will be performing during the festival. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is the end of today's session. Please join us for tea and cookies outside. Thank you for being here today. See you again tomorrow.